Welcome to another episode of the Good Samaritan podcast, hosted by me, Dr. Monique A. Lynch, a mental health specialist, author, entrepreneur, educator, aspiring politician, and youth ambassador. Our topic today is titled Faith to Increase, and our quote comes from the Bible, James 2, verse 17, and it says, and I quote, "Faith without works is dead." So I want to share on the analogy of a telescope. I read in a blog in which the writer referred to it as the invention that has done the most to redefine our place in the universe. So what is it really about this simple tool that holds so much power? Power to change our minds, change lives, and to change the entire society. What does a telescope do for you when you look into it? Does it give you supernatural sight? By peering into a telescope, you are transported into another realm. A very real, very grand, very glorious and expansive realm. A realm that is all around you, all the time, but distance because it's so distant. It remains unseen by the natural eye. For 99.99% of human history, most people held a natural viewpoint of the world and their rightful place. All of our senses scream out to us that the earth is the center of the universe and we are the center of the earth and everything revolves around us and blah, blah, blah. But once your eyes are opened by the telescope, you are immediately confronted with the majestic and terrifying truth. Infinite grandeur and beauty and strength exist, and it all belongs to another, to one that is beyond you. Now we are but a tiny speck of a speck of a speck of a speck, revolving around an object, which is revolving around a greater object, which itself is spinning in unison with countless other heavenly bodies inside of a deep web of endless galaxies, all spoken into existence and held in place by God. Now, it's no wonder the telescope changed everything. It changed the way humans viewed not only the sun and the moon and the stars, but it changed the way men viewed themselves, their lives, their place and purpose on this planet. Now, Hebrews 11 verse 1 says, and I quote, "Now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." And I end the quote. If you were asked to provide evidence of celestial bodies, how could you do that? And you profess that there is a planet revolving around the sun called Saturn, and that this great planet has a multitude of rings embracing it. Well, that's hard to believe. How can you put that in your hand to show anyone this wondrous thing that you speak of? Where is the substance of your claim? It's a telescope. And likewise, the faith that God gives us is an incredible tool of life-altering power. Faith reaches through this present place and time where things are for you, things and people exist, and it pulls those distant realities which lay beyond sight, which are either in the deep past or in the future, and it pulls those things into focus. All of a sudden, you realize that because you can't see them with your eyes doesn't mean that they aren't real or important. The faith that you read about in Hebrews 11 is the knowledge, the assurance of tomorrow's glory. It brings what lays only in the future into today and causes you to live and act and move and breathe as if the fulfillment of God's promises is just a single step away. When you're looking through a telescope, previously unseen, seemingly non-existent things are revealed to you. They are brought into focus. They are brought near, within arm reach. At the same time, all that was so near and clear before, all the pains, all the riches, all the failures, and all the successes, all the businesses of today disappears. You see past it all. This is very similar to how faith operates. And that's why faith is a causal force, a driving force. Faith creates action, and action prompts increase. Faith is the eyes of your soul. What you see, what you believe, is going to dictate what you do and how you do it. Now, if your faith is bringing your future glory with Jesus into focus, and the daily grind and chronic pain is being drawn into the peripheral, you better believe that your actions are going to look ridiculous to a lost world. So what are the lessons that I would like to share? 1. Without believing in yourself or what you desire, most likely you will never achieve it. 2. You cannot believe it unless you receive it. It's not enough to have it in your head. It's not enough to just have it on paper. It's not enough to say it with your mouth. It's only enough when you believe it in your heart. 3. Faith alone is not enough. Faith never stands alone. Sometimes we use faith as a band-aid, a quick fix to avoid responsibility, to avoid commitment, and to avoid consistency. 4. Faking faith only fuels doubt and invites backwardness and delays into your life. Faith must be followed with actions that are consistent with what is believed. So let's do away with this faking it until you make it, and yet, or instead, faith it, work it until you make it. 5. To experience increase, you must be willing to throw your nets over again and again. Many times we give up too quickly and we use the excuse that, this is God's will. No. 6. Sometimes we fall because we take our eyes off Jesus. When our faith is wavered, it causes us to lose focus, and we cannot walk into the abundance or the increase God has for us when distraction sets in. 7. A ship sinks fast. 7. A ship sinks faster with dead weight. We must do regular internal and external cleanups if we are to stay afloat and sail. This has been one of those hard lessons for me, but I realized that my vision has never been so clear. I've seen so much increase because I've done this cleanup. And I know sometimes cleaning up, whether it's internal or it's external, is hard. It's painful. But sometimes we have to let go to receive. 8. It's difficult to walk into increase when you are the stumbling block in your mind. The final one. Faith plus consistent work equal increase. Thank you so much for tuning into the Good Samaritan podcast. Join me next week as we delve into another topic. Please click the link in the bio to follow me on all social platforms. Thank you in advance for downloading, sharing, liking, and commenting. The Good Samaritan, no strings attached.